You alright lads, this is the Geordie Jedi here doing my next football season review. Fulham finished 19th this season, relegated unfortunately, but you know, what did Al Fayed expect? He brought in 3 managers and a German who didn't know how to play in this league. You know, he was screwed from the beginning. I don't understand. It's all his fault. It's all the chairman's fault. I mean, you can give it some blame to the players and some of it to the managers they had, but overall he screwed up Fulham totally and completely. You know, first it was Martin Young. He had control of the summer transfer window. He brought in Parker, which was a really good buy, I thought. I'm surprised they got him. I'm surprised that Tottenham gave him away. I thought he was doing well. You know, he was in an England squad. He's in the England squad for a bit, so I don't know why they got rid of him. They could have used him this season, ironically. He also brought in Darren Bent for some reason. I mean, I know we Newcastle were after him, but I didn't know why we were after him. To be honest, I didn't want him here. He's not that good. Anyways, the bottom, he came off the bench a couple of times and scored, but nothing serious. Anyways, they started the season poorly, but not horribly. You know, they weren't like Sunderland at the time. They weren't in massive, serious trouble. Anyways, Al Fayed decided, nah, don't like, you know, y'all's not getting the results. So he brought in René Mullenstein as head coach or some bullshit title under Martin Young. Couple of games later, sacked Martin Young and made Mullenstein full manager. Okay, fair enough, maybe fair enough. You know, Young wasn't doing that well. Mullenstein might do better. He didn't. He did a little well. He did a tiniest bit better. He maybe got an extra point that Young probably wouldn't have got. Okay. He had control of the January transfer window. Brought in Holtby, who was a decent player, very young, on loan, and Holtby didn't have any Premier League experience whatsoever, so he didn't know how to play. He did well against an Everton game. In an Everton game, he made like the most tackles in a Premier League game for that season. But you know, it happened. Also, didn't have Hangeland full time, as I recall. He was injured for a while, which was a bit of a shame. Then brought in Mitroglou for approximately 10 million, as I recall, from Greece. I don't know why. I don't know why they spent 10 million. I mean, Greece isn't the worst league. You know, Olympiacos isn't a horrible team. Either as Panathinaikos or I think one other. There's one. But anyways, the league's nowhere near to our kind of quality. It's nowhere near to the French. Obviously, it's the Spanish. It's nowhere near to the Italian. It's nowhere near to. It's probably the same kind of lines as the Austrian league. You know, a couple of one or two decent teams here and there, but nothing serious. So they brought him in for 10 million. I know he's very young. I know he's something like 21, 22, but 10 million, no, without Premier League experience. Brought him in. He didn't do well. He didn't score many, if at all. I think he did score at least 1 goal, but he didn't do. You know, he didn't do brilliantly well. I don't know why they bothered. Anyways, a few games after, Mullenstein gets sacked. McGath comes in. I don't think he gave a crap whether Fulham went down or not. I don't think he cared in the slightest. He just wanted Fulham on his resume. Because he was asked, pretty much just before his first game, he was asked, will your team lineup be any different from the previous lineup that Mullenstein put in? He said he didn't know because he didn't know the lineup previously. That tells me that before he accepted the job, he didn't do his research. Even if you're coming in halfway through the season, you shouldn't. You should already know You should know every result for at least that Premier League season. You should know the stats for every player. He didn't know. He didn't have a clue what the hell was going on. Now, maybe the idea when he said that was he was trying to say that I'm not Mullenstein, I'll do things my own way. But what actually it sounded like was that he was an idiot and didn't care and didn't know anything about Fulham Football Club. Anyways, he played on. He was given, I think Fayed learned his mistake far too late rather, and learned that, change a manager. Perhaps it's a better manager. You can do it once, but you can't do it twice and get away with it. So, he gave him his time. He didn't do much. He didn't do horrible, like just disastrous. Derby County disastrous. No offense, Derby County, but he didn't, he didn't do anywhere near well enough to save them, which no one expected. I don't think nobody expected Fulham to be saved after the stuff that has been going on. The thing that cost them, really, was the 85 goals conceded. This was the second worst goal tally, against in the Premier League that there's ever been, and the other one was Derby County with 89 goals against them. Their defence cost them severely. They didn't get many 0-0 draws. I think Liverpool got the same amount, which was, I think, maybe one 0-0 draw, which isn't a horrible statistic on its own, but it also suggests that they didn't draw enough. They didn't not concede, which screwed them up. Fulham didn't deserve to be in the Premier League next season. They didn't, all Fayed's fault. The fans are good fans. They are very loyal to the Fulham Football Club, and when you're in a London area, if you don't follow one of the maybe 3 big teams, or 4 if you count Southampton as well, give or take. You might be able to follow Southampton if you're London, but if you don't support one of them, it's very difficult to support the smaller teams such as QPR and Fulham. So they are very loyal fans, and Fayed screwed everything up. Anyways, I believe they eventually got a new chairman, but that didn't help. Anyways, it's been the Geordie Jedi. Leave a like if you want, subscribe if you want. May the force be with you.